Welcome back for another episode of AgroPlus News from the Field. Occasionally I get the question during the winter, just exactly what does an agronomist do over the winter? So let's take a few minutes and we'll go through some of what we do as agronomists during the winter. This time of the year, a big part of my job is going over soil fertility results from soil samples, usually from the fall period. So these ones here were done end of September, so I'll get to go over these, come up with recommendations for these fields, and put that into the customer's crop plan. And then I take all that information and add it into software such as Farm at Hand so that in season, me or the farmer can pull that data up in the field on a smartphone. I also use software such as Farmer's Edge to go over yield results from the combine in every field from the previous season. So right now I'm just going over 2022 data to determine what we need to do differently in some of these fields. There's also studying for new certifications. Currently, right now, I'm just studying the 4R nutrient management plan, so I can have that designation added to my CCA. Of course, as an agronomist, we also have to keep up on our continuing education credits or CEUs. So this is a pretty good example of what a yearly course load might look for one of us. We have a minimum of 40, which usually translates to roughly 40 hours of continuing education units. I'm at 105 for this year, so you can see here this list of all the courses that I've done in the last 12 months. Always got to make time for farm visits too, whether it's agronomy and forecasting meetings to go over crop protection plans and such, or customer relations, or even just to sell some product. Of course, there's always lots of driving, quite often to exotic locations for conferences. Like beautiful downtown Saskatoon during the winter. Occasionally I even get awards like this crop plan one that AgroPlus Lethbridge has gotten for selling 2,500 acres worth of crop plan canola last year. And we get to learn about new products like this Master Lock from Winfield United, so you'll be seeing a lot more of that this coming season. And of course we get to refresh our education on everything that's in the shed of existing products. There's always new software to familiarize yourself with as well. This year the OneSoil platform is new to AgroPlus, so I've been working on that quite a bit this winter. Of course, every February there's always Ag Expo, which runs for 3 days, so that's always a good time. There's always some equipment maintenance to do, but now that is much reduced now that I no longer have a gas-powered dirt bike. I now have an electric mountain bike. This one folds in half in the middle and folds up small enough to fit in the back seat of my truck, so it should only take a few seconds to get out and about, and can carry me through the fields pretty well. It's got these 4-inch wide high flotation tires. I've tried it out quite a bit in some winter wheat here already this winter, and it's worked really well for that. On the technology side, I have a few new things I've been getting ready for the season. I have a new drone. I went from the Mavic 2 Pro to the Mavic 3 Mini. I wasn't using a lot of the mapping features with the Mavic 2, so the Mavic 3 Mini will do just as good cinematography wise, so should be a great addition. I also have a new soils thermometer I'm going to be working with this year. This guy, as long as I don't leave him in a field like I did the last one, this one will actually be able to read soil moisture, which will be really handy. And I have a new camera. This is kind of a gimbal mounted camera, so it'll be really interesting to see how well this guy works, DJI, just like the drone. This camera with this microphone should have a lot less wind noise, which is going to make it a lot easier for me to edit the video, also make it a lot more watchable. The gimbal stabilization is also top notch, so it should be really easy to stabilize things now. Shouldn't be too bad at all. I can switch the camera around really easy. And I even have the ability to zoom in on things now, which I didn't before. So this will really help for looking for small things, you know, things like flea beetles and stuff that the GoPro camera just completely was not able to focus on at all. I should have less of an issue with that now. Occasionally, during nice breaks in the weather, it's a good opportunity to get out and take a look, see if there's any winter annuals that are surviving. I also do quite a bit of video editing over the winter. You won't always see it on YouTube, however, as quite often it's more personalized, season-long videos for the individual producers that I work with. Slower season during the winter is also a good chance to do some maintenance. Lots of us agronomists are farmers and ranchers ourselves, so the slower weekends in particular are nice. I can come out to the ranch here, do some fencing like I am today, replacing some staples, repairing broken wires, and making note of where I need to put new posts once things thaw out. There's always other stuff to do too, like run the seed treater, which Jens is doing here today, so that'll keep him busy for a little while. Well, we're hitting the end of March now, and it's feeling a little bit more like spring out here now, but we're still, you know, very much minus 10 or so every night. So it's going to be a little while before we're in the field. It's probably going to be a few weeks, but you can expect to see my videos regularly resume at that time. We'll see you next time.